theme song for that? Titty Talks. We can do. Like,
Yes. All right.
Let's just talk about feminist stuff.
New show name and focus. We're here on Titty Talks. I am JCat, and we are on JCHATS with Here RVA, and I'm here today with Kaay Taurus.
Dope.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to be physically near you while you're ramping back up.
Yes.
So that's good. So I feel like I'm a part of something already.
You are. Like, yes, same here. It's been, again, talking about this previously, like the difference between being able to talk to people virtually and then in person. I'm sitting here fangirling in the presence. It's not the first time that we've met in person.
No. You're like coming right in to when the growth is really starting. So I just know when I do my Kanye/Kaay Taurus documentary, I'll be like, yeah, JCHATS. She was there from the beginning.
Yes. So there's going to be a documentary in the future, and I believe that. I don't know if you're kidding or being serious.
I really believe that. My closest friend, Cass, they were like, yeah, man. So, I got this money I set aside. I want to buy a camera, and just like, whenever you're busy, when I call you if you're busy, it's cool. I'm just gonna come and I'm just gonna be in the back, and I just want to see what you're doing because I really just feel like it's gonna go up for you. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, let me know when you get the camera.
Yes. Isn't it the best to have people like that behind you? I'm a full believer in you don't say things like, if this happens, or it's when. And I think that makes a big difference in attitude, and you sound like you're on the same page there. So you're manifesting this documentary in the future, and you've got people believing that as well.
Yeah, and with this journey, I'm learning how to change my vocabulary so that's more intentional and say stuff like when I make it, when I'm playing at this large music festival, when I'm at Broccoli Fest, like if I keep just my focus, and stuff happens, but as long as I keep it, I'm good. And it is nice to have the circle of people that I have. It's not a large circle, but it doesn't matter because like those same couple of people just keep me really grounded and just like always constantly reaffirming me because like, I mean, they're really just invested in everything I'm doing. So it's dope.
It's so important. And this is a reoccurring theme with everybody I talk to, whether, with JChats or just independently, talking about how important it is to surround yourself with people that are in line with your vision and your views. And speaking of, so the first time we did meet, you were at the music shop. Let's talk about that because you really had, seeing you coming in, listening to you singing, watching you filming your video for your song that just dropped last month.
Yeah, it was almost 2 months now. So February 16th was like Kaay Taurus's real debut. Like I've had a couple things circulating, but that was like my real debut. Like a lot of love went into that. And the music shop actually shot my video, but we were actually doing their Q's Day, which is like every Tuesday they feature a new artist to come out and just kind of like highlight them and just help them have more content available to promote themselves, which is like, if you do content, you do anything entertainment wise, it's definitely a huge thing that you have to keep up with and just be knowledgeable and just being consistent. And with their services, I was able to turn TLC into another platform somewhere else so they can see it. So it all helped me out, and it was a great experience. Super cool.
Yeah, like again, coming in and seeing you, and it was the first time I had visited as well, and I was with Elijah, part owner creator of Here RVA, and you're this powerhouse, very professional, very focused, and it was such a cool experience for me because I've never seen anything like that happen. Yeah. The closest I've ever come is like that old MTV show, making the video, or just the behind the scenes things that would be on E and things like that, and being able to observe it, but also with somebody like yourself, really just, it's so magical looking. What did you feel about the experience? How did you feel during that? Did you feel like the rock star that you looked like?
I mean, I definitely am stepping into myself still. I'm, me pursuing music and me like creating putting my realism as a person into like what my alter ego is a journey, and it's ever evolving, and I know I'm going to still learn more stuff about myself. But in that moment I was like, wow, this is really cool. You know, I can see myself doing this all the time and having some longevity and just being in the spotlight. It's new, it's different, you know, and I'm just like such a humble person that I never ever see it coming like over my head. I'm still gonna be wearing like these sneakers and like these jeans and shit like that. Like I'm gonna be
Stay
feel,
Kaay.
yeah, you know, it's just because it's all a part of like what I'm offering, what I'm showcasing, you know, and it's a whole package deal. So I want people to like see the real person that I am and not like like you know, something else going back here, you know? And I think I've seen people kind of get swept away in that. And it's like, man, I just want to be my authentic self. And I think in that moment I was able to show that, but just show like the professionalism thing. I thank you for bringing that, because that's also something I'm learning and growing. And I think I get a lot of good feedback for the majority of the part, but I loved that day. That was a great day. It was a good step in the right direction. And like I said, I can definitely see myself doing more things like that. So.
Yeah, it was, again, such a cool experience, and I would have never guessed that it was something new for you or something that you looked super into it. And you'd mentioned having an alter ego. Tell me like more about that. Is this like you're still Kaay,
Yeah.
but this is like Kaay on stage?
It's like I'm Kelsey, but Kaay is also like the person that stepped out of the show first, because before, you know, I had stage fright. The fact that I was able to do stuff and people are looking at me in that capacity, I wouldn't even sing in front of people. The people didn't even know I could sing. So I did have to kind of like step into something else. And it wasn't a huge like bodysuit or anything. It's just like you have the utmost confidence and the ability to do like whatever you want to do. So like just do it. And that's like the attitude that Kaay Taurus has. Just you're just gonna do it, you're gonna get it done, you're gonna do a good job, do good work, you know, and like
Yes, I love that. Do good work.
Shout out Michael Millions. He said that to me and I was like, that makes so much more sense. Like people are like, work smarter, not harder. No, just when you do the work, just whatever you're doing, do good work. Like about my recording, if you're gonna record, you know, just take every session you have like seriously, because it might not just be like a rough draft that you're doing recording. That might be the only recording you get to do. So just sing it like that's it, you know, the only
Like
one.
this is the only take, that's the only chance that you get, and take all of those opportunities and moments seriously. Like, yes, absolutely. You know, with that and TLC and having kind of that stage fright, separating yourself from, you know, just you, everyday you, to Kaay Taurus singing her music, things like that. Your voice, my gosh. How does somebody with such a powerful voice have stage fright? I hope it's not a rude question. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around. Like, again, listening to you, seeing you at the music shop, hearing the recorded, and then you open your mouth and you actually start singing the song as well. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Like, how does that, how do you get stage fright? I can't wrap my brain around that.
To be fairly honest, like I said, I've done like, I did everything from like marching band, show choir band. I did like choir and stuff, but I was always part of a unit. Always placed where I was supposed to go, you know, never like the solo artist or anything like that. So that was kind of like where I found complacency, like kinda. And I never really noticed how weird that stage fright triggered. I want to say probably 5th grade. My dad's military. We lived overseas. We were in Germany, I think. And I was supposed to sing a Whitney Houston part. I was in 5th grade. It was supposed to be bomb.
No pressure.
No pressure. I rehearsed it. Like I was in like church band, like choir, like killing it, right? And then like I got up there and I just blanked. And I mean, it was horrible. It was the most horrible thing I ever did. And I think at that point in my 5th grade age, I was like, yeah, so we're chilling right now, you know? and
maybe I can't do this.
And I didn't have the people around me like just, I guess, boosting me up, because you grow up in a time frame where like a lot of people that are coming out like late 90s, early 2000s, MTV, everybody's voice is the same. Everything's like kind of the same, you know, even though they're like the stepping stones to like people getting to where people are right now. But it's like, you know, there was a certain bubble and I was like, I didn't feel like I fit in that bubble, which is a good thing, but I didn't know that until later, you know?
It took you some time.
Yeah. Yeah, to grow into my own. Like first time I ever heard myself recorded, I did like a what's it, the Say Yes by Floetry like cover, and I heard it back and I was like, what? This is
That's me?
crazy. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. So learning
Beautiful.
that like what my tone is and like growing into my tone and working on that, that's how like I'm getting more confident, and like Kaay Taurus is just like finally doing what I should have been doing. So that's kind of how I look at it. I'm super thankful of my journey.
That's really interesting, and again, like I hope that wasn't a rude question. It's just sincerely, and that makes a lot of sense because I dream about being able to sound like you and hit
Thank
those notes and
you.
have that power and things like that. A ton of people do, and your first mission, if you will, as a fifth grader, little kid, to sing some Whitney Houston, like who wouldn't be like a deer in headlights? And
Yeah.
so after that process, after you kind of had that, you said you started to really kind of come into your own. You heard this recording of the cover that you did, and like what
Where did
were
I go next?
yeah, like where were the steps to TLC being at the music shop back in February?
Well, fairly honest, I've been functioning at the level of music for a while now. I've been in marching band. I did everything. I started playing sax like a while back, and I just kind of like learned that. I was surrounded though by like all these amazing other musicians. I grew up in like Chester for the majority of the part. So a lot of people that frequent VCU, Richmond area. My first show that I think I ever saw was like a live set with like Obliv and like DJ Harrison when they were doing like loops.
Nice.
And my daughter's dad, his name's Sound Genesis, he was also doing live loops. So I was like around people. I was like seeing all these people, but like never um, really knowing how I fit in and
Mm-hmm.
all that. But I was just surrounded by greatness, and I was like, how can I get into this? How can I do it? And like really, I think if I would have spoke up sooner, I probably could have had somebody like, hey, yeah, maybe just try this and see where this goes. But really, it's just kind of like I did it on accident. It was like I did it on accident, but with intention that like if I do this on accident, this might happen, which it did. Devon Harrison, he plays with Butcher Brown. I like have been a fangirl since they've been playing everywhere
Yes.
in the area, and that's somebody from like here. I really, music I really love, organically loved, and like was just in spaces like this where I got to feel and see them and stuff like that. And I did a cover on one of his songs from I want to say it was Candlelit. That's the name of the song. And I did like wrote lyrics on top of that, and I made like a SoundCloud post about it, but I didn't think anything of it. But that's pretty much how Prop found me. So that's my management right now. She's from the Richmond area but lives in California,
Mm-hmm.
and she found me just off the strength of that song. And it was just a
Wow.
crappy recording. Like I had GarageBand on my phone. I put the song on that thing and I made like this full ensemble. And for a phone one, I'm gonna say it's not too shabby, okay? It was
Like
like
it's not too
before
bad if I say
quarantine
so
started.
myself.
Yeah, yeah. And then I just set that up and I was getting all this feedback about like, wow, this is great. And like, man, if I could actually record the song that I made over the real track, like for real, I'm sure it would be a bop, but I'm gonna leave that where it is. But yeah, she, found me and we just started talking organically and, you know, asking me how my process was because at this point I had just enrolled into the LA Film School because like now I could actually afford stuff in my 30s. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, yeah, I'm gonna go enroll in school, and I started to in music production and engineering.
Wow.
I'm actually in my last year, so I'm almost done. I'm like three and some change, so I'm
Congratulations.
almost
That's
done
awesome.
with my bachelor's. But that was like the spark, and that helped me just propel like a lot faster. So all those ideas that I had in my head that I couldn't make come to fruition, it was like happening, and just because I had such a personal passion, I was just like looking stuff up on my own in my free time to just help whatever I was already learning, and I don't know. I have like basic music theory knowledge and stuff like that, but it just started coming together. Now, TLC, I had been dating, I'm talking about this beautiful woman with brown eyes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make this song. And that song, I put a lot of love in it. I put a lot of time. I went back to it a couple times because I recorded and I was like, man, this is trash. Like, I'm not feeling it. I was like, tears about the song, everything. But I'm glad that I took the time that I did because one, you know, I wouldn't have got the product that I got. Two, I wouldn't have made a music video about it because I think I was going to haphazardly put it out because I didn't know if I was ever going to be finished with it. And then three, you know, the amount of organic feedback that I got from it just really validated like you are doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So just keep doing that. So that was a long answer, but I just had to give you the tea. You know what I'm saying?
That was a good answer. Like it covered a lot of topics and gives a lot of information. And I think it's important because you definitely touched on this is where you really started to see changes. You know, number one, believing in yourself, not putting too much pressure on it, not having so much intention, if you will, but you know, let's go for it. Let's kind of see being on accident, but again, hearing so many different artists say having that support system and people that believe in you. DJ Harrison is a great, like we love him with Here RVA. He was episode 1 of Liner Notes, and like, so what an inspiration to so many people, and that's huge.
The fact that he was there and now I'm sitting right here and I'm just like really getting my feet just like wet. I'm just like, man, that has to say a lot for me, and that can only mean that it's only up. I mean, I really feel that in my heart. Like, I'm not meant to work these regular jobs like this. I already know, girl. I told myself there's so much stuff that I need to do in a day's time. Work just gets in the way, and if I can't make music, anything that's getting in the way of that is getting in the way. So I'm finally aligning myself to start to juggle things better and transition more into making music. So
I like how you worded that too. Work, and this doesn't feel like work. This is, you're doing what you love and what you're passionate about, and how important. Like, you have to. If you're not happy, comfortable, confident, it's going to be trash. Yeah. And TLC, that's a good song. Like, I can feel it in my belly right here.
Yes, the hurts get to the chakras that are down here. All right, that's what the hope and plan is. I make soul, R&B, fusion music. I heavily influenced with like hip hop and just good drums and a good bass line. And the thing that made me make that song was an Anita Baker song. So it was Good Love, and I got through the whole song, had to run it back because I was like, yeah, everybody knows a song, but I heard one part, and that one part, after her second verse, she did this beautiful run that made me build the entire song. And so I'm like, man, if I could take little snippets like this, I got them coming out. Yeah.
I'd say job well done. I think you definitely, if not perfected what you were going for, because only you can say that.
Yeah.
And you know, you said you feel really, really good about the process that you took with it. And yeah, like if you were going for that kind of angle and just like, again, feeling it in your stomach and feeling all of the emotions that go into everything about dating.
Yeah, love song, a real love song, you know, and like, I think a lot of the neo soul, the new soul that's coming out, like nobody's making like 5-minute songs unless they're like a band or something, you know? And I was like, man, this is a long ass song. This actually came out really, really great. So, and once I was writing it and I just got to the point where there were no words, like just repeat it, you know? It just sounded so good. And, like I said, it's about any kind of love. It's not necessarily just like love, romantic love. It's platonic love. It's best friend. It's whatever makes you feel good. And I feel like I relayed that like perfectly through the song. So
for sure,
I know if I had the power to make people feel like that, any emotion that I want to display through lyrics or music, I should be able to make people feel what I'm feeling. And I think that's super powerful for sure.
It is, and you're definitely, in my opinion, like you're nailing it. If that's the message you're looking to get out, you absolutely did, at least with one person. Definitely. I'll speak for myself. Like
I appreciate it.
No, I felt it, and you just, again, have such a power, such an inspiration and sparkle and excitement about you. And even just you coming in for the interview today and getting ready and, you know, talking with Al over here at the Camel and keeping things in motions, you're focused.
Yeah.
You're focused.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that's coming across, you know.
It's such an inspiration, and you know, this is one thing that I've personally wanted people to get from JChats is drawing inspiration and finding good advice that they might not have thought of before. Is there something that you've found, not necessarily from JChats, but you know, just your journey in music and becoming, you know, the best artist that you can be? What's some of the best advice that you've come across? You mentioned something previously.
Yeah, just do good work, stay consistent. You know, if you love it, it's you love it, you put it out, you know. Um, and just, you know, long nights are coming, you know, hard work is coming, but just it's all worth it. It's all worth to be able to live a life doing what you love doing and just having a good life. And that's really all I'm going for. I think COVID has taught everybody that like figure out what you really want, figure out what you really want to do. I've been in healthcare the whole time, and I'm gonna just say, I love people, but I don't think I want to take care of people at that capacity. But the thing that I can offer is like my music because that kind of healing is also powerful. That kind of healing is also needed. And if we start about healing people from like inside to the outside, it's gonna do more for people at the end of the day. People think about the physical ailment when they're healing and going through something, but not what they're actually going through mentally or emotionally. And so I just know that if I'm in a room full of people and I'm singing a song and I make people have a little bit of tears or I make them want to hug the person next to them, my job is I'm doing my job. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So.
I have literal chills and I want to hug you right now because how, like, that's so important. Yes.
Yeah.
My gosh, you just blew my mind. Healthcare, mental health care is just as important as physical health care. And yeah, you just made a shift in that. And God, what a beautiful way to say it. You've taken something that you had been doing, shifted to really fit into what you love, and now you're offering soothing mental health, you know, something nice to listen to and be inspired by and chill out to through your music. You're amazing.
Thank you. I mean, I'm certainly hope so. I mean, I know a lot of what that aligned with, and that's how I ended up meeting Prop is because, you know, we agreed on those like kind of values about like that's so important and the kind of life, if the kind of background you had, you grew up, and that wasn't heavily talked about, you know. So we're just trying to shift that and change that generational like trauma and like, you know, at the end of the day, like I have a child, she doesn't have kids yet, but I know they are going to have kids at some point, whenever that is. They need to call me. But I just, you know, I want my kid to have it different. Like I didn't have a bad life, but I definitely know that some things that I value for like my mental health now, I wish my parents did that then. So I'm just trying to just channel that energy into her so she can be vibrant and happy and not like lose that spark. And that's kind of why like Mind After Midnight got started. So that's a label that I'm affiliated with and I love it. It's just starting, it's small, but it's personable, and we strongly believe in just taking care of self and your mental wealth and affirmations and just taking that time. And as I'm going through this journey with her and with the label, you know, it's really just helping me better take care of myself.
Yeah.
So to have people that feel the same way.
You guys are doing the right thing. You're offering a benefit, thinking about things other than just, hey, I'm going to make music and fly by the seat of my pants, see what we're doing. You're really putting thought into it. And seriously, thank you. It's to hear more and more people talk about the, you know, that aspect and what you can do with your music to help with that is so refreshing and encouraging. So thank you. And, you know, Prop, you guys are going places, just keeping you busy.
Definitely.
Busy.
Always keeping me busy, keeping me professional, keeping me busy, and just like mindful, you know, how to move in certain spaces. And like, even though she's like not physically here, it's like, I can always, she's very accessible. So that's always a blessing. And hopefully I'll be going back to Cali in August, you know, so we can finish some work that we're doing out there. But I mean, I see her in my life for a long, long time. I mean, you know, it's not like a secret per se, but I mean, we're doing this joint project. You know, it's the first label project. It's the first project for us together as a pair. You know, we're really going to create the standard and create the sound and leave our sonic fingerprints on everything. And I think for us, that's historical for like our start. You know, like everybody looks at their pieces of history different, but this is like a huge like part for me of my life. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes.
I get chills again. And
I mean, cause I'm making it happen, girl.
Yes, things to look forward to. Keep an eye, and you know, I'm excited for you. I know a lot of people are, and you've got some, you know, shows coming up soon. There's two that I personally know of, and by the time this is out, you will have already performed probably because it's coming up in May. But we're gonna keep an eye. Okay.
Definitely.
Any last thoughts? Anybody you want to say hey to? Parting words? Anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Mine After Midnight. Shout out to Hood Buddha, my team. You know, that everybody that's like been pouring into my cup. You know, I'm just doing the best thing so I can pour into other people's cup. And yeah, next time you see my JCHATS, who knows what's gonna be happening? Something amazing, something awesome.
There's going to be like so many, we're going to look back and be like, shoot, we had no idea even then. You're awesome. I want another hug if that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Thank you.
I'm very Southern. I need the hugs, you know what I'm saying?
Girl, me too. That's, I get the y'alls coming out to people, and I feel like some people will be like, you're a weirdo. I
what
can't
is
help
that?
it.
Exactly.
We just had a conversation on the, oh man, bless your hearts. So.
I mean, it's endearing. It's sweet. It's hospitality. Once you pass Northern Virginia, you're hit, though.
Yes.
You're hit. You know, it's unsweet tea from there. Sorry.
That's right.
It's unsweet tea from there.
And it's so heartbreaking. It ruins my day sometimes. Kaay Taurus, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I can't wait to see what else you've got coming up, and keep streaming TLC.
I will. I will. My birthday's coming up in like a week, so stream TLC 5/5.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah. Interesting factoid. So TLC is actually turned at 5/5, and then my birthday's at 5/5, and then my next event, the next way. I just thought it was cool, like the numbers, how they're like popping up the same.
I am
manifestation.
I am all for it. My favorite number is 6. Like my personal Instagram morbid 66, and like also like 666 because I'm a little dark. But no, like I get it. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Woo.
All right. Yes.
Yes. Cheers.